Hello to all of my Gems family. This is Life with Marlene, and I am your Florida vlogger. So, I was not planning to do any live streams today, but I just felt like I needed to come and motivate, encourage, and inspire some of my Gems family. Maybe it's somebody who's not a Gems family, maybe somebody in the shorts feed, but I'm obedient to all of the messages from the Spirit. When it tells me to talk, I talk. Okay. And this is something that came to me, and it was to tell everybody to get it together. Hey, Joshua, happy Saturday to all the Gems family. And today's message is about getting us all the way together. Hey, JT, how are you doing? Welcome. Hi, Jason. Welcome. It was just on my mind. It was just on my spirit to talk about, getting us all the way together. Now, this is not a judgment thing. I'm not here to judge nobody because your girl is not perfect either, but it is just an encouragement. I know when the year begins, like January comes, it's a new year, we get all excited about our life and, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get this right. But where are we now? Okay, we're in March of 2025. We already have 3 months of the year that has passed. And what are we doing to get our lives together so we can be our best self? How can we get, get our mind, our body, our spirit, everything in the right space? Oh, awesome, JT. I'm glad all is well with you. Yeah, it's a message that I felt like somebody needed to hear. And I think everybody needs some sort of encouragement. Now, it's wonderful if you have that in your environment when you have like friends or family or other people that are pouring into you positivity and inspiration. But for many people like myself, we have to do it for ourselves. We have to pull ourselves together. We have to get ourselves together. And this message is for all of you, okay? Everyone has things going on and they're busy. I get that, but also we're all adults. We're not kids. It's a time for us to be responsible for ourselves. We got to be responsible as adults. I know things happen in our life, situations, and people do things to us and disrupt our peace and backstab us and hurt us. But as adults, what are we going to do and shift in our life? What are you going to do to get yourself all the way together? And this is my question. What are we each personally doing to ensure that our life is great? See, I'm not talking to those who are, going to be the persons to make excuses and just complain. I'm talking about the people who are in the space in their life where they're sick and tired of being sick and tired of their ordinary, of the same thing, of all of those things, and they're ready for a new start to live an abundant life. See, I'm not talking about living a mediocre life, an okay life. No, I'm talking about living an abundant life. What are you personally doing to ensure that your life is great? I don't mean mediocre. I don't mean like your neighbor or this person or that person that may be holding you back or looking at another person. I'm talking about us doing an honest evaluation of ourselves and saying, what am I personally doing to ensure that my life is great? My life is abundant. And I have to say that it starts with us. It starts with you and making that decision to say, I don't want my life, whatever it is that's going on in your life. I don't know each of you personally, and I know each of you don't know me, but I always like to at least once a month to do an evaluation on myself. Am I taking care of myself in the best way possible? Am I pouring into myself? Am I doing all the things that I need to do so that I can ensure my overflow? I can ensure my abundance. Because that's what I want for you all, and that's what I want for myself. I don't talk about things that I am not personally doing in my life to ensure that I am living up to my highest potential. And we definitely have to start with who are the people that are in our life? Who do you have surrounding you? Are they positive people? Are they encouraging people? Are they motivating people? Are they doing things with their life? Not saying we have to do what other people around us are doing, but it encourages us to have people in our life that are going after their dreams. They're doing things to ensure their peace. They're doing things to keep themselves peaceful and positive. And that is a question that a lot of times we really don't think about. Who are the people in my life? Are they encouraging people? Are they good people? Or are they people we need to discard? JT says, right. I most recently had to do self inventory, check and rearrange a few things, especially as it pertains to my health. Awesome, JT. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so proud of all of my GEMS family that is putting in the work to ensure that you're living your best life. And I know that this channel, I mainly focus on vlogs and doing those things, but also I couldn't be able to live that life going out and doing those things if I didn't give myself the permission to thrive, give myself the permission to live my life, go give myself the permission to go after my dreams and not tap into the fears that are either self-inflicted or the fears that other people try to project. Now, I don't know about you all, but I have some people that are in my life that love to project their fears and their insecurities onto me. I don't know. It's those people who are just fearful, they're drama, they're negative, they're angry, they have a lot of unresolved issues, and they will try to get you to be just like them, or they'll get you in the mode of just complaining or making fake promises and talking about what, oh, I'm going to do this. I don't know if you guys are in the South, but in the South we say I'm fixing to do this, I'm about to do that, but nothing ever happens. And that's why the people who you associate with, the people you talk to, the people who are in your circle, the people that you talk about your dreams and your hopes are so important, because those people in your life, they are only going to elevate you or they're going to drag you down. Now, when I was younger, I never used to believe my parents, and I don't know, the kind of upbringing that any of my GEMS family has had, but my mom used to always tell me, you are who you associate with. So if you have people in your life and they're always, low on the dollar, they're always complaining about their life, they're always making bad choices, you always find yourself in the predicament of always trying to help them. You always are pouring into them, that you get so busy in helping and assisting those people who really don't do anything, or the people who make bad decisions, that you can't even have the time to focus on yourself and your life and your joy. And that can apply to, your children, if you have children, a spouse, a significant other, a boyfriend, a job. There's always going to be people who are draining and taking, and they will drag and take everything until you are broken. And let me tell you, when you get broken, those people will just leave. They just walk away because they're opportunists. They're only here to take from you. They're not here to pour into you. And that is one of the reasons for today's conversation, today's podcast about, getting yourself together. I had to learn to be honest with myself and stop going by the people that I personally love, because it's a big difference. You can love people, but are the people in your life loving you back? Are they willing to make the same said sacrifices that you are making for them? So, are they going to elevate you? Are they going to pour into you? Do they encourage you? Do you have those people in your life, or do the people in your life drag you down and only are there with their hand out trying to take from you, or they're always talking about you behind your back? And I went through a zone like that in my life where I felt like I had to have these people because that's my family, quote unquote. Those are my friends. or you feel like you need to do certain things. Like, I need this job, I have to do that. Let me tell you, when you start getting into your purpose and doing the things that you need to do for yourself, you're going to feel so much better. So don't think that you have to settle for friends, a job, this, that, or the other. When you start living in your purpose and you start going after your hopes and your dreams, I'm telling you, everything will line up. When you find yourself always trying to force relationships, force people to be in your life, force people to support you, force all of these things, you'll never be in a space of happiness. And until I made that thought in my own head and gave myself that permission, I give myself the permission to let people go. I give myself the permission to be my best. I give myself permission to even go silent, because I'll tell you, when you start telling people the things that you're going to do, the people who are the frenemies or the people who fake support, fake love you, and all of those things, they'll start dragging you down. Oh, that won't work. That's stupid. That will never work. They will be the people who will be stopping you from living your best life, living your dreams out loud, living out your goals, because they're not doing anything. And I don't know what it is about certain individuals, but when other people who are not going to do anything with their life, they hate to see you living your life out loud. They hate to see you looking good, especially when you're taking care of yourself. You become more financially stable, and you're doing the things that you want to do. You're living your life to your best ability. But when you have those negative people in your life, and they're always seeking to complain, they're always seeking to find faults in you, or talk about you either in your face or behind your back, or gossip about other people, gossip about you, that is what will keep us stuck. So, one of the things that we have to do as people who love ourselves is this right here: be honest with yourself. Be honest and ask yourself, what do I need to do to get myself together? And this is a big question, because most of the time we'll lie to ourselves. I know I was in that space of lying to myself, because when you just keep doing the same things, rinse and repeat over and over again, living your life on that hamster wheel, just running, wearing yourself out, being so exhausted, but there be no purpose to your life, that there's no joy to your life. And that is the difficult part, is when you are not doing the things that you need for yourself, and you're not getting yourself all the way together. Okay. I think I put this one up. Yes, as it pertains to your health. And all the best in that, JT. If we could have $100 every time we have heard this from negative people, we can agree we could be millionaires. Yes, I agree with that. Hi, Real Odds and Events. How are you doing? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to all of my mods. Shout out to the channel members. Appreciate every single one of you. I just felt compelled to come on and talk about this, getting ourselves together. And there's a lot of things involved in getting ourselves together. Sometimes we need to get ourselves together when it comes to maybe it's your hair, maybe it's your skin, it could be your teeth, it could be your weight, it could be your diet, it could be so much things that we really need to give ourselves some tough love. And I don't know about you all, but I am the person that likes to ignore that elephant in the room sometimes. And I know I need to do whatever it is, but sometimes there's situations where we can't do better. Maybe financially, we're just doing the best that we can. But I'm talking about the things that we can control. You don't have to keep answering those phone calls or keep showing up for people who don't show up for you. And that's a whole message, that's a whole word for somebody who needed to hear that. We have to stop showing up for people who don't show up for us. And that means being honest, like looking at it for what it is. And I don't know why it is, but sometimes we'll keep making excuses for people, but they won't be doing those same things for us. Have you ever found the people that you show up for and bend over backwards and do all of these things for them? They do not bend over backwards and do some great things for you. It's always one sided. And that's the thing that we have to be very careful of, because it will stop us from getting ourselves together. It will stop us from our mental health. It will stop us from our financial progress. It will stop us from our spiritual stability and strength. It will stop us from so many things if we do not be honest with ourselves and say, this is not a good person. These are not good persons. I'm not growing in any of these relationships. And I don't know why, but I find myself excusing people's behavior. But when it comes to me, they don't make excuses for the things that you do. Like, you can be so patient, you can be so compassionate, you can be so giving, so supportive, doing all of the things for people. And when it comes to you, crickets, nothing. They wouldn't ever give you $1. They wouldn't ever call you. They would never check on you, give you some encouragement and say, hey, how is it going? I was just thinking about you. I just want you to know that I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm here for you. Any of those things that pour in to your mind, body, and spirit that we all need. We need those positive messages. We need for to have those sort of relationships. And I had to learn that if you don't have those things from people that are in your life, you need to be seeking that outside. And I don't know why sometimes it takes us so long. We hold on to the people who are harming us. We hold on to the people who are taking advantage of us. We hold on to them, and we need to let those people go in order for us to live our purpose, to be happy, to have peace. And that's just what it is. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. And it means that we have to be honest with ourselves, right? But each of us needs to do some things to get ourselves together, because guess what? You may want to elevate. And I know that as talking about myself personally, I want to elevate and I want to grow, but I can't if you're trying to, elevate and grow, and you have people who are crabs in the barrel. And every time you take one step forward, they drag you 2 to 3 steps backwards. So it may be the reason why you're not progressive. If you have people in your life and you're the only one doing, if you're the only one encouraging, you're the only one motivating, you're the only one doing things, you may need to rethink. I used to think that the people that I loved me back. And that's not the case. It's not true at all. Just because you love people, it doesn't mean they love you back. A lot of people are opportunists. They see an opportunity. Oh, they're going to give me money. Oh, they're going to give me right. Oh, they're going to food, give me food. They're going to give me a free place to stay. People will use you until you stop allowing them to use you. And that's what I'm talking about, getting yourself together, being honest with yourself. Because if you have people in your life and they're only around you just to take from you, you need to ask yourself, why do I allow people to use me? Mm, that was a major thing for therapy that I had to go through, asking myself, why do I have to be, the catalyst for change all the time? Why do I have to always be everybody's savior? Why does it have to be me? And you have to ask yourself that question. Why do I allow people to use me, take advantage of me in whatever aspect? You are the determining factor. You're the solution in everything, and it's all up to us. Hey, realist, how are you doing? Welcome. Yeah, it's so true. We are the ones. We are the ones that have to say, "My life is going to change. My life is going to be better." You're the one that has to put in the work. And I know that it's not easy. It's not easy to have people in your life and you really truly love them from the bottom of your heart. But if you're the only one loving, you're the only one doing, you're the only one pouring in to the person and pouring into the relationship, is it really a relationship? No, it's not. You're the only one. You could be in a romantic relationship, doing all of the work, doing all of the things, being the good person, feeling like it's a great relationship. But if you weren't the one doing those things, that relationship would have been crumbled. So, think about this in your solo time, in your quiet time. The next time you have some opportunity, what are the relationships that I have in my life? Okay. What relationships do I have? And the things that I am doing, are they doing them back for me? Yes, realists. Reciprocation. It's the key. It's the key to everything. It's the key to everything. JT says, or what's going on within self that attracts that energy? Yes, that's another question, JT, we have to ask. Why do I allow myself to attract that energy? Because sometimes, your the past, your issues, your trauma, we feel that we don't deserve better than that. Hmm. How many of us have said that? Or maybe if you don't say it, by your actions. I've heard people say that all the time, especially when I do coaching. Oh, I love myself. I take care of myself. But when you really peel back the layers of their life, if you really love yourself, if you really are your own best friend, if you really take care of yourself, there's certain things you would not allow, and there's certain things that you would not do to yourself. I had to learn that some of the habits that I had was self harming. And it goes back to your childhood. It goes back to the issues that you had growing up and what you thought was good because of the way other people, the first people in your life to love you, how, what the things that they did, and you train your mind. But at any time, we can shift our mindset. We can shift our focus and say, I'm not going to do that anymore because that's toxic. It's allowing yourself to look at yourself in the mirror and to say, this is not good about me, but this is good. It's unlearning the bad behaviors that we exhibit, and it's giving ourselves the permission to replace those bad behaviors. When I was in therapy, that was one of the most difficult things for me to speak about, the things that I allow. Allowing myself to be a people pleaser, allowing myself to, not speak up when I need to because I don't know who needs to hear this, but, ignoring things just makes more problems. No, I don't know if anybody was like me. I'm not that way anymore, but that used to be the former me where I didn't like confrontation. I didn't want to make any problems, but that person or that group of people is making your life miserable, is creating a lot of issues, and ignoring it is not going to help you. Ignoring it is not going to help you. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad to hear you're way past the trying to people please, because that can be a whole issue for many people, because we'll think, and they'll give you all the love bombing, right? I love you. And then right after that, I love you. Can you do this for me? Hmm. Interesting. That's not love. That's toxicity. If you have people and they only call you or talk to you or tell you they love you when they want something, that's not that's not love. That's toxicity. And we're the ones that have to be able to identify those things and say, you know what? This is toxicity and I don't have to take it. And that's a part of getting yourself together, is identifying what is good for you and what is not. Identifying what is good for you and what is not. And the majority of adults are not willing to put in the work to say, this is toxic. This is harming me. This is keeping me stuck. This is negative energy. And I just don't want no parts of it. No, we have to say that to ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to stop allowing people to take advantage of us and to use us. Okay? Don't let people take advantage of you and feel like you have no other option, because that used to be a whole thing for me, feeling that I had no other options. It's like, but this is my family. People will go by the titles. This is my family, or this is my husband, this is my wife, this is my boyfriend, my girlfriend. Like, okay, if these people cared about you and loved you like they claim they do, love is an action word. What is that action showing up? So, it took me a while to get past thinking that people love me and care about me. In actuality, they didn't care about me. It was just they were saying the words, but that's all it was. Everything else fizzled out, because if you brought up anything, they would get upset, they get angry, or they will talk about you. That's not love. Does not bring you pain. Love does not hurt you. Love will challenge you to be a better self. you know if you have people in your life and they'll be like, you know what, you know I love you, but I'm going to tell you this because I want you to improve. I want you to be a better person. And before, I used to think that was a person who was trying to bring trouble in my life. If you don't have people in your life that will call you out and say, you know what, I don't think you should have that candy because you have diabetes, or I think you should have that water instead of soda. Simple things like that. Those are people that care about you, because a person who doesn't care about you will encourage you. They won't care. Yeah, go ahead and have that soda. Go ahead and drink that another beer. Go ahead and have this. Go ahead and have that. Now, I'm not saying any of those things are bad or wrong. No. But if you know you have issues with something, if you know that something is causing you to be stuck and to not be a better person, it's a problem in your life, and you keep doing it, you need to get underneath that. Why am I using things to cover up the issues that I had? Because that was my problem for a really long time. I was using, you know, having fun and partying and relationships and this and that to cover up the real problems and the real issues that I actually was having. Okay. But when you're mature, when you're a whole grown woman or you're a whole grown man, you're able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? This person or these group of people are not they're not, that's not friend, that's not family. And because just because a person is related to you by blood, it doesn't mean they have your best interests. It doesn't mean they want to see you win. It doesn't mean that they're on your side. It doesn't mean they want to see you grow. Actually, sometimes the people who are there smiling in your face are your biggest enemies. Whoa. The people who are smiling in your face can be your biggest enemies, your biggest haters. Have you ever seen it? I don't know about you all, but when I really started to do some, working on me and, taking off the rose colored glasses and looking at life for what it really was, I really truly found out that I was like, this is not a friend. This is not my family. This person does not love me. Okay. No matter what they say. So, not being in that facade. Hey, Lara, how are you? Happy Saturday. Shout out to the Gems family. Happy Saturday to everybody. Not everybody is who they say they are. So let's get back into this question and talk about it. Okay. Being honest with yourself and getting yourself together. There are some things that we need to do to get ourselves together. And I'm going to talk about 4 ways that we can get ourselves together, and I'm going to start with a heavy hitter. Do you have people in your life that help you to be your best self spiritually? I'm not here to, push my beliefs or anything, but whatever it is that you believe in that will help you to feel supported and loved. Some people call it the universe. I call it God. Whatever it is that you use to support you, to encourage you, to pour into you, do those things. Okay. And if you don't have people that will encourage you to be your best spiritually, you need to evaluate that. Okay. I understand that not everybody is going to be on the same wavelength when it comes to, spiritual beliefs, because that's a personal thing. But other people in your life should encourage you to be better at the things that you believe in, and they will respect your boundaries and be understanding. Okay. So, get yourself together spiritually. For me, it's making sure I make time for my meditation, making time for my faith, making sure I make time for my praise and my worship, make sure I make time for my solo time so that I can connect, because that's so important in getting myself together. I have to have time for personal reflection and knowing that I'm not the only person. When we're going through situations, and it's like all of these problems on our head, and you'll just be going over it and over it. How can I fix that? How can I fix this? When actually it's not yours to fix. There's some things that we can't fix because it's not a thing for flesh and blood. There's certain things that is meant for the spirit to fix that. The spirit has to do some things in our life. We can't fix things. Okay. Another thing, in getting yourself together emotionally. This could be, I could talk about this probably for another 2 hours. When I was having all of these emotional issues, mental health issues, it was honestly mainly about other people, and it had nothing to do with me. Sometimes people bring you so much emotional trauma, things that they say to you that's so hurtful, it's so negative, it's so, you know, will hurt you and bring you so much pain. And there's a lot of emotional pain that comes from the things that people don't say, like when you needed someone to say something, when you needed somebody to pour into you, or to, if they cannot be there in person, but just saying things like, I'm here for you, I was thinking about you. But when you don't get the treatment that you deserve, that brings another level of pain. And that makes it harder for you to get yourself together, even more so. But don't, stay stuck there. And I will tell you that from going through therapy, working on myself to be my best in my emotional state and having good mental health, I had to know what I personally needed. And I say that to all of you too. You have to know what you need to be your best in your mental health. Hey, Miss Lynn, how are you doing? Happy Saturday. Thank you for being here. You have to know what you need for your best mental health. Everybody's going to be different. Now, I know when I need a break, I know that if I'm having a struggle with something, or, when things bubble up to the surface, something that happened years and years ago, but today you're struggling with it, to be your best self, to get yourself together, sometimes it means shutting off yourself from other people and really truly working on that. If you need to be upset, you need to go for a walk, go for a jog. If you need to see a therapist, if you need to spend time with friends, if you just need to be alone to process it, do whatever it is that you need to do so that you can get yourself together, you know? And that's one of the things as an adult I did not do. Sometimes because of our upbringing, when you're taught that, you should just suck it up, you got to be tough. You have to be tough as a man, you got to be tough as a woman. You can't show people your whatever, all your issues. And of course, you don't share your most intimate, your most troublesome issues with everyone. But you have to have people in your life that you can be vulnerable with, people who you can trust, that will help you to not only get yourself together but keep yourself together. And I'm grateful that I have people in my life that will say, when I don't realize it, when's the last time you had a vacation? When's the last time you took a day off and just stayed in bed and rested? those are the things that we need to get ourselves together, because being trained to be responsible, to be the adult, and we don't see it. Sometimes we're only thinking about, oh, I got to make this money, I got to do this, I have people depending on me. But you also need to depend on yourself. You also need to be your own best friend. That's getting yourself together. I had to say that to myself. I give myself the permission to rest. I give myself the permission to, not tell anybody my business. And if I need to cry, scream, shout at the top of my lungs, read a book, go to the beach, take a long drive, whatever that helps you to get yourself together emotionally, do those things. Mental health is so important. And I'll tell you that you don't really understand how important your mental health is until your mental health goes. I don't know who's ever had those times where like you're really in a dark space. I call it being down the rabbit hole, and it's just dark and gloomy and you're thinking all kinds of crazy thoughts and just feeling that nobody cares about you, nobody loves you, nobody supports you. And it couldn't be furthest from the truth. There's a lot of people who love and care about us, but one of the things that I had to learn in getting myself together is not feeling that I have to fix all the problem. I have to always be the strong one. You do have to have people in your life that you can lean on, and you can tell them how you're feeling and what you're going through. Everybody needs somebody that they can vent with. And not just everybody and anybody, but somebody that has proven that they can be trusted, and somebody that has proven that when you open up your mouth to say something to them, it's not going to get broadcast all over with your relative, with other friends, with other people. So be careful about that part too. If you're going to open up and talk about the things that is going on with your mental health, with your physical health, with your spiritual health, with some issue or problem, something you're dealing with, make sure it's a person that is trustworthy, a person who is mature, a person who is wise and will give you good advice, not just a person who just will be like, because that can be very irritating when you're bearing your soul and you're sharing things that you're really going through that's really stressful, and a person is not really listening to you. So make sure it's a person that will give you good advice or give you the support that you need, and you know who those people are. And if you don't have those people, it's nothing wrong with finding people. I'm grateful that I have an amazing therapist. I have a great mentor. I have accountability partners. One thing I had to learn about getting myself together is stop waiting for people to make changes or to be who I want them to be. Hmm. That was a big lesson in my maturity and my personal growth, is learning that I can't change anybody. I can't make people love me. I can't make people show up for me. I can't make people support me. I can't make people do anything but just be themselves. And then it's up to us to make the the realization, like come to grips with, is this a person I want to keep in my life, or is this a person I need to let go of? That's a part of getting yourself together. There's a lot of people that we've been needed to cut ties with them. We've needed to cut them off, cut the umbilical cord to their toxicity, to their judgments, to their all of these things, because they may be the individuals that is causing you emotional instability, causing you mental health issues because of what they say and how they make you feel. I'll tell you something, that when we stop listening to, ourself, because ourself, it warns us. The energy warns us, and it tells us like, I'm not really listening to you. I don't care about you. And also people's actions. There's a lot of things, but if we pay attention to discernment, and look at the person's intentions, look at the person's actions, if we really truly look how we are treated, and not just what people are saying, we would feel so much better. But how many times are we honest and getting ourselves all the way together and not just going by, oh, okay, I'll make an excuse. Oh, that's okay. They're going through something. Stop making excuses for people. Stop making excuses and saying people are going to change and people are going to grow up. The only person that changes is us. The only person that changes and the only thing that changes is our mental health, trying to deal with it, trying to cope with it. You shouldn't have to cope with people's negativity and their drama and all of these things that is disrupting your mental health, that's disrupting your joy, that's affecting other aspects of your life. And we don't deserve that. Over here at Life with Marlene, we're all about living to our best potential and being our best self so we can live out loud. And that's what I want for all of my GEMS family. I want for you to live out loud. I want you to be as happy as you deserve to be. And sometimes we need to be telling ourselves, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to go after my goals. I deserve to work on me. I deserve to be my most fit in all aspects of my life, emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually, in everything. I deserve it. And it means that you may have to block people for your mental health, block people for other aspects of your health so that you can be well. That's getting yourself together, is learning to stop lying to yourself. I know I've done it and probably will do it again. We don't really try to, but sometimes because we care about people so much, we forget that they're not caring back. We tell ourselves this narrative in our head, oh, they love me because they're saying it, with their words. But what about their actions? Is it on the same level or is it lacking? you know that's something that to really think about, and really, so we can get ourselves all the way together. Now let's talk about getting ourselves together physically. Woo! This is a big one. It's a very sensitive topic. I know I'm not judging nobody, but as we get older, it's harder to get yourself together physically if we've allowed a lot of things. And I had to learn how to eat. I had to learn how to take care of myself and valuing myself. That was a part of learning to be my own best friend, learning that some of the habits that I had growing up were very toxic. It was not good for me. And I had to unlearn the thinking of what is good, because some of the things that we enjoy to eat and to do, it's not good for us. That was for me a part of really getting myself all the way together and snapping out of that, bad upbringing, bad training in childhood and in life, and making a new set of promises to myself. Because I love myself, I'm my own friend. I'm going to treat myself good. I'm going to take care of my emotional health. I'm going to take care of myself physically. And it starts by, what you're eating. And that was a hard thing, learning about a balanced diet. And now don't think Marlene is, oh, I'm over here always eating grains and vegetables. Of course, I have the times where I indulge, but I had to learn to not always be an indulgence, not always be like everything tasting good. As we get older, we have to follow the direction of a doctor or a nutritionist, of professionals, because they know what they're talking about. I want you all to be your best in your health, and your health is your wealth. When you stop taking care of your health, it's going to affect other parts of you. I know when I am not my best in my health, like, walking a little bit and you get winded, you can't even go up the stairs. You can't do things and live your best life if your body is falling apart. So that was a thing that I had to learn about getting myself together, is putting away, stop buying certain things, meal prepping, grilling my food instead of frying it, eating vegetables, drinking my water, and also in my your physical health is directly affected by your mental health. So if you're not okay mentally, you really aren't going to care about eating good food. You're only thinking about saving yourself from feeling so sad and in this dark space. And I know that when I was in a very, very dark space, I was my biggest weight because I just was not taking care of myself. So I want to say this to anybody. There's no judgments here. This is a positive space where we encourage each other. If you have some unresolved issues, as the reason, sometimes we're told we're not good enough, we're ugly, you're fat, you're this, you're that. People will tell us things and we may not want to face it. But the reality of it is we are listening to other people and their judgments instead of making our own thoughts about ourselves. If there's something that I see when I look at myself in the mirror, it's up to me to make those changes. It's up to me to give myself a new narrative because we were allowing other people's false narratives to direct us our whole life. Maybe it was your mom, your dad, your siblings, other relatives, people on the job, maybe somebody you dated or you were married to. It's a lot of people who say things that's very negative, very hurtful, and it will make you want to eat your pain away. I can say that because I have been through that. Every time I would feel sad about something, here I go. It's ice cream, it's chips, it's cookies as a replacement instead of really getting to the root and saying what hurt me. So that's something that I do now that I didn't know because I did not have the tools before. Now, every time if somebody makes me mad, I don't run to the store and go buy ice cream. I say, when they did X, Y, and Z, that pissed me off. And I don't deserve that because that's not true. I'm a good person. I'm a wonderful woman, and I deserve better. So those are some of the things that I had to learn. And therapy gave me so many tools to help me to confront a problem instead of covering it up. Because you'll put people in voids in your life and you don't even realize it. You'll be looking to a romantic relationship to fill the void of a father issue, a mother issue, a sibling issue, and they can't be that. So, learn to work on some of the issues that you have. You can't go back in the past and change it, but you can speak to yourself. When I was younger or when this happened, this is how it made me feel. But that's not the way I deserve to be treated because I'm X, Y, and Z and I love myself. And today I can love myself and to say I deserve better. See, that is really getting yourself together and giving yourself the permission to be your best. And when I got my mind together, I was able to get my body together because you got to first convince yourself that you're well enough, that you deserve to be treated in a good way. And if other people don't treat me in a good way, I'm going to treat myself in a good way. First, starting by what I eat. I started keeping a food diary. I started being in accountability groups that encourage me to exercise and to eat well and to focus on my mental health because it's a circle. All of it goes together. If one thing is off, the rest of your life is going to be off, and that will stop you from getting yourself together. And this is the last point that I'm going to talk about in getting yourself together, and that's financially. Um, I don't know everybody's financial situation, and I understand that so much things have happened in the past few years that has caused people to struggle financially, sometimes losing a job, um, going through situations where you lose people and there's grief, or being in a relationship and you don't have that financial support anymore, or having kids and then your kids leave. It's a lot of things involved in your financial situation. But whatever it is that has happened to you in your life, financially, even with a low income, even with not having that much, you can still save. And that's something that I never would have believed before until I started doing that. You can be on low income and still save money. And I know you'll ask, well, how can you save when you only have a little bit? And I remember what my mom used to say. I come from a family and I am the 10th child. And my mother, we used to have everything that we needed. We weren't rich, we didn't have much, but it is all about having a budget and it's what you're spending your money on. And I had to learn to get myself together financially. I had to stop doing those things that was not going to cause me to save. So I had to learn to meal prep. I had to learn to stop going through drive through. I had to learn to stop trying to live the life of convenience of a person that had a lot of money. And I had to train my thinking to take care of myself so that I can eat better, know what's in my food, plus save money, meal prep, and cook at home, you know, and even small things, meal prepping your lunches for, school, for work, for whatever, having your own food that is healthy. And that's going to not only save you money, but it's also going to be good for your body. So it's a lot of things that go with the financial stability, but mainly my financial prosperity did not begin until I stopped giving away my money. I know it sounds like something, oh, that's strange, that's weird, but I know there's somebody in my GEMS family. I say this with friendship. I say this with no judgment, but we have to stop giving our money away to people. Okay. It could be your kids, it could be whoever in your life. There's always people who want a handout. So, you have to get a backbone and say no. I'm not giving you money. You need to make better financial decisions, or you need to, get yourself together, because if you're always the fallback person, the person who bails out people out of their situations, people will never stop coming to you if you never say no. Gotta say no. And also, in small things, something that it sounds very insignificant, but what has helped me to save some money is just rounding up. And I don't know where you bank and all of those things, but just rounding up every time I make a purchase, say it's like 77 cents, I would make that 33 cents go into an account that I can't touch, a IRA, a Roth IRA, or a savings account. And you wouldn't believe, at the end of the year, just 33 cents here, 60 cents there. At the end of the year, having an extra $1,000 and $2,000 from not really that much effort. So that's just one thing. And cutting out drive through or takeout, eating at home, stop giving your money away. Stop wasting your money by overconsumption, because that is a whole thing. Like in today's society, you can have everything that you need, but you feel like you have to get the latest and the greatest everything. I got to get the latest car or outfit or shoes or this or electronics and this and that, and you can't afford it. Living within your means, that was me getting myself together. you know Nobody, when that bill comes in the mail from your whatever, credit card company or your bank, you're the one that has to deal with those decisions. So that was a part of me getting myself together, coming to the realization that this is my life. I'm the one that has these bills. So this is what I can afford, and I'm not doing more than that. So I hope that that will be helpful to somebody. Stop living beyond your means, and who cares what other people have to say? Make people laugh, make them laugh at you. Who cares? They don't matter. They're irrelevant anyways. They're not paying no bills in your house. They're not taking care of nothing. That's what I had to learn. And before, I used to be like getting a $300-400 hairdo, $85 shoes, $200 purse, this and that. And don't get me wrong, I like nice things. I like quality things just like everybody else. But if I'm struggling to put that on a credit card, just to have it. I had to ask myself, do I really need that? See, that was me getting myself together and being accountable. And I also had to learn to delete all of those apps that would make me want to click and just purchase. There's a few apps which I'm not going to say because I'm not sponsored by these companies, but we know all of those apps where we keep buying things. I deleted those apps. I deleted all of those apps that, bring food to your house, that bring packages to your house. If I really need something, of course, by all means, then you get it. But I had to sit down and say, do I need this or do I want it? It's a difference. Learning to be satisfied with the things that you have. I'm telling you, there's no peace like that. Yeah, there are a lot of times I wear repeat of clothes and things, and people may look at me and laugh at me, but I'm not working extra hours. I'm not stressed out how I'm going to pay this bill just because to get people to say, oh, that's a nice outfit or that's a nice car. I live in my means and I mind my own business. For me, that's getting myself together. I'm the one that has to deal with the headaches, the problems, the stress. And there is nothing like the peace from being happy, being satisfied, being grateful for what you have, for who you are, and putting people in their place. Don't let anybody tell you how to live your life. And that's what I want to leave and wrap up today's podcast with this thought. Don't let other people tell you how to live your life. You have to make your own choices. And sometimes the people in our life are completely off track. They'll be trying to tell you, get this car, buy this, do that, get this job. Yeah, because they want the fringe benefits. They want, because if you have that better job, now you can loan them money. Or if you get that car, now you can give them rides and they can show off and ride on your coattails of your success. But we know better, right, Gems family? We're going to make better decisions. So I hope that some of the things that was in today's podcast and discussion was something to give you some room for thoughts, something to think about, something to meditate, something to pray over, something to say, you know what, I should be meal prepping. Let me round up my money to the next dollar. Let me stop giving my money away. Let me stop and cut off some people and block some people that I know do not rock with me. I know that they're only here using me and taking advantage of me. And it's time for me to cut ties with them. We know who they are. And I know that it's not easy. I'm not saying this to say, oh, do this cut and dry, like it's going to be that easy. It's not easy to block a relative. It's not easy to let go of a toxic romantic relationship. It's not easy to, take care of yourself physically by going for the walk and getting in the gym. It takes discipline, but that is a part of self-love. And that is a part of getting yourself together and saying it to yourself. I know I don't want to, but every time I don't want to do something and I push through it anyways, I always feel better. I don't like, because I don't think there's not a lot of people who enjoy getting exercise, but I know when I exercise, when I go for a walk, it gets some things like off my mind. I start thinking about something. It relieves your stress, your blood pressure. It regulates your worth. Your worth. It regulates your weight. It helps you to be your best self. And that's what I want for all of you, to all my Gems family. Do all the things that you need to do to get yourself together because you deserve it. You're worth it, every single one of you. Thank you so much to all of my Gems family, everybody who came through and tapped in for this topic today. Get yourself together, all the way together, because we only have a few months left in the rest of the year. And I want for each and every one of you to live your life in 2025, getting yourself together, being your best, being happy, having peace, going in the direction of your goals, and encouraging yourself. If you don't have people in your life that encourage you, pour into you, care about your mental health, you need to get rid of those people. And even social media, because that's a thing too, because that's consuming, it's going to affect you emotionally and mentally. So make sure you are consuming positive, encouraging, and supporting messages. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to all of my channel members. Shout out to the mods and anybody who was in here for the replay. If you're new to Life with Marlene, I am your Florida vlogger. I also am a life coach. I take you guys around with vlogs. I have some amazing vlogs that drop every single Tuesday between 8 and 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. And I go live, pop up sometimes. Sometimes I have them on, I set them up in advance, pre-arranged live stream set up. So make sure you turn on your notification. Make sure you subscribe. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers. And make sure you go and check out all of my amazing mods. Lynn's Life Lessons, Realist One here, hashtag slide accordingly. And also my great supporters, Real Odds and Evens, Laura, Yellow Sword, and shout out to all of my other channel members, Leticia's Third Eye Point of View, Sirius S of Virgo from Georgia, Boss Life Online, Dave's Adventures, Sonia, and Miss Nexie, Puzzle Pieces. Shout out to everyone. Hey, Nancy, how are you doing? I hope you're feeling better. I really hope so. Yeah, I'm just about to get out of here. Make sure you check out my replay because this was a great topic and discussion. Yes, everybody have a great rest of your day. Get yourself together. Be positive. Check out the replay if you just came in. I'll see you guys on the next one. This is Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger, and I'm out.